Well, hey everybody, Michael Reno here. Thanks for tuning in. The song I've got for you today is a song about a specific time in my life. It was about 25 years ago, a period where I had completely stopped playing music. And as far as I knew then, I wasn't going to start back. Here's how that came about. Now, I'd played music my whole life. First time I got paid was 1963. I was a sophomore in high school. There was a folk trio called the Green Mountain Trio, and those guys were like 3 years older than me. When I was a sophomore, they'd graduated. And the way I got into that group was one of their guys went off to college, and the other two were still playing, and they were auditioning people, and because I could do that, I got the job. So when I was a sophomore in high school, I was out and gone playing music almost every weekend somewhere. We played fraternity parties and pig pickings and whatever. My whole life, I've played music. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, I was fronted a 7-piece country show band. We played 6 nights a week, 5 sets a night. I've done trios, duos, you name it. Played in every seafood restaurant from Key West, Florida to Cape May, New Jersey, I think. I've played knife and gun clubs in Cocke County, Tennessee. I mean, I played everywhere and wrote songs. I mean, I started writing songs when I was in high school. But people didn't seem to be that interested in hearing my songs. They wanted to hear what was on the jukebox where I was standing right there, you know. And I thought, well, these poor people just don't have good taste. And, of course, looking back on it now, it's pretty obvious the reason that people weren't interested in my songs is most of my early life I was a really mediocre songwriter. Well, that went on for a long time, and finally in the late 1980s, I decided what I need to do is get famous people to sing my songs, and then the world will realize what a great songwriter I am. So I moved to Nashville, Tennessee, and got a job in a publishing company down there. But I sure wasn't making any big waves, I'll tell you that. I got a few cuts, but nothing anybody would ever recall. Probably the guys that recorded them don't remember them. Now, I did get on a record that sold way over 1 million copies. But the reason that I got that thing hanging on the wall over there is because I wrote it with one of the greatest songwriters to ever come to Nashville, Tennessee, another old East Tennessee boy by the name of Kim Williams. Well, after that, nothing was happening, so I left Nashville. And, of course, the reason that nothing was happening was I was still a mediocre songwriter. And Nashville has got plenty of great songwriters, and mediocre ones don't get far. So I thought, well, by golly, I'll show them. I'll just quit. And I did. And nobody noticed. I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, and got a job in a graphics company. Put my guitar under the bed. My wife and I separated. I was living alone. But I started seeing this little gal that worked where I worked, and we were getting along pretty well, but I never played music for her, never even told her I played music. After about 2 years of that, we lost my mom in a car accident. And not long after that, one morning I woke up and there were all these words just bursting to get out of my head. And the only way I knew to let them out was to get that guitar and get it in tune, and I did that. And it seemed like just within minutes this song came out. And the more I played it that day, the more I realized this is better than anything I've written, I think. And then within the next 2 months, 2 years worth of songs came out, and they were all better than anything I'd written before. It was like my mom was up there saying, "Get back to work, it's time." And I guess it was. And I finally thought, well, I want to play these songs for Joan and see what she thinks. So I played them for that gal that I worked with, and she thought, those are great songs. And then I played her some of my older stuff, and she said, but your new songs are so much better than your old songs. What happened? And I said, I think I had a little guidance maybe. She said, don't you want to go back to playing music? And I said, I don't know if I do or not. I don't know. I only want to sing my own songs, and people don't want to hear my songs. She said, I'll find places for you to play, and let's see if people don't like your new songs. So we put a band together. We recorded my first project, a cassette tape back then. It was called There Are No Angels Here. And the title song was that song that I got up and wrote that morning. My reawakening, I guess. Anyway, we went back on the road, and we were still playing cafes and clubs. But the longer we did that and the more I sang my songs, the more people started asking for my songs. To where after a few years, we got to where we weren't playing anybody else's songs. Now, Joan and I have been just a duo for the past 15 years or so, and it's been, what a great run, I tell you what. So I wrote this song as a tribute to Joan, but as I was putting this little video together, it occurred to me that it's a tribute to all you too. For all you people who've supported my songwriting and my storytelling all these years, you don't know what it's meant to us. And during these hard times, I want to dedicate this song to Joan, but I also want to dedicate it to all you who've been supportive of my music all this time. So this is for Joan and for you. There was a time when my life was a lonely old ride, looking out the window at life passing me by. With a guitar and a suitcase, I was a broken young man in need of repair, like my broken down van. Playing clubs and restaurants day after day, playing all the same songs that a jukebox would play. I spent my nights in my room with my guitar on my knee, writing songs that didn't mean nothing to me. My music was mostly a howl at the moon. I spent half my life wishing that I could find some words in a tune, but I was looking for something that I never knew, till I finally found something to say the day I found you. Your words are like poems, and I hang on each line. Your laugh is like music for my fingers to find. Now I've discovered my own voice, but I'm telling you true, I finally found something to say the day I found you. My music was mostly a howl at the moon. Spent half my life wishing that I could find some words in a tune, but I was looking for something that I never knew, till I finally found something to say the day I found you. Oh, I finally found something to say the day I found you. Well, thank you very much for tuning in, and thanks for listening, and thanks for the support that all of you have given Joan and me. As I said earlier, it means the world to us. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down there and ring that little bell if you would. It'd mean a lot to us. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.